Sorry, I forgot in class yesterday that I wasn't going to be here today. So I'm going to go through these homework questions and I'm going to go through the in-between ones. Going to do a little wrap up on that and then we'll see where we are. Okay? So I just took these normal distributions off the internet so I wouldn't have to keep drawing them. But anyway, you've got your z-score down the bottom, so 0, 1, -1, 2, -2, etc. Don't worry about the y-axis, we don't really care. Okay, so the first one here, which is part 3, is the probability of z being greater than or equal to 1.6. Okay, so I'm going to mark in 1.6, so like there maybe, and we want greater than 1.6, which is that bit there. So that's what we want. So this is fine because it's positive, so we can look that up, but this is not fine because it's not a less than. So that purple line there represents 1.6, and I want to know the probability of being on the right hand side of it, as in greater than 1.6. But I can't look that up directly, so what I do is I get the entire shape, which is 1, minus the probability of being less than 1.6. Yeah? So 1.6 is my, here. 1.6 is my probability, so I'll go in here, down to my normal distributions. Just going to get rid of this. So 1.6. It is there. It's just 1.6, so 1.6 is 1.60. So we go across from there and then down from there, which gives us 0.9452. So it's 1 minus 0.9452. Yeah, sorry, just double checking I had that right. So 1 minus 0.9452 is, 0.0548. And then again, for like context, you can do that in percentages. So 100% minus 94.52% equals 5.48%. So the probability of being on the right hand side of that purple line, or being greater than 1.6, is 5.48%. Okay, second one, less than minus 1.2. So less than minus 1.2. So there's minus 1.2. Less than that is on this side. So it means we're looking in there. Okay, so the less than is fine, but the less than is fine, but the minus isn't. Okay, so z-score being less than 1, Okay, so I was just writing it over there. So what we do is we again go with the symmetry of the shape. So 1.2 is about there. So basically what we say is the probability of z being less than minus 1.2 is the same as the probability of Z being greater than 1.2. They're the same, as in the size of that purple section is the same as the size of that yellow section. Yeah? So then we focus on this. This is what we try to figure out. And we already know how to do that. So the probability of it being greater than a positive number is exactly the same as what we did here. So we have the positive number, but we don't have the less than, so we just do 1 minus. So the probability of Z being greater than 1.2 is 1 minus the probability of Z being less than 1.2. And that I can look up. So 1.2 here. Take that off. 1.2, so it's that, and then it's 1.20, so it's that. So 8849. So that is 1 minus 0.8849, which is 0.1151, or again, you can do it in percentages, so 11.51%. Yeah, so that is the probability of being in the purple section, which is the same as the probability of being in the yellow section, which is the same as 1 minus the probability of this bit. So I will try and wrap these up now in a second, so you kind of have just a couple of rules, so just bear with me on that one. Okay, so the probability of the z-score being less than, this should be the same, minus 2.35. Okay, so less than minus 2.35, so minus 2 point, that's way over, so minus 2.35 is like there. Sorry, I'm just going to do it in purple. There. And we want to be less than that, which is on this side, so it's like this teeny little section here. We can't look up the negative, so we use the symmetry, and we say that the probability of being less than minus 2.35 is the same as the probability of being greater than plus 2.35. Okay, so we can look up a less than, but we can't look up a negative. We can look up a positive, but we can't look up a greater than. So then we have to go to 1 minus. So that is 1 minus the probability of z being less than 2.35. So 1 minus 2.35. So into our formula and tables book. Get rid of this. Yeah, so 2.3 is here and 5 is here. Okay, so 2.3 there. So 0.9906. Oh, sorry, 0.9906. 0.9906. So that is 0.0094. So just because that's such a small number percent, it's actually come up, that 0.0094 actually came up in scientific notation. So if that's confusing, go to percentages. So like we said, like I said, a tiny little probability. Yeah? Okay. So I was thinking about this yesterday. I think there's 5 of these that you need to know. So the first one is the probability of the z-score being less than a positive number. And that one's grand, because you just look it up. The second one is the probability of the z-score being greater than a positive number. Okay, and that's like this bit here, like the probability of it being greater than plus 2.35, that's where you do 1 minus. One minus the probability of it being less than whatever that number is. Maybe I won't use a plus, I'll use an x. And then that becomes 1 minus, and you can look that bit up. Yeah? So then the third one is the probability that the z-score is less than a negative number. Yeah? And that's what we did here. So less than a negative number is the same as being greater than a positive number, which is the same as 1 minus the probability of it being less than that positive number. Yeah? So from symmetry, these two are the same. And then from number 2, that's how you deal with greater than a positive number. Yeah? So it's the same thing, it's 1 minus, look it up. And then the fourth one is the probability of the z being greater than a negative number. Now, have we done one of them? Less than a negative. Okay, so greater than a negative, we might need to have a think about. Give me a sec. How would that work? Okay. So let's think of an example for this one. The probability of the z-score being greater than minus 1.5, for example. Okay, any negative number. So greater than, so 1.5, sorry, minus 1.5 is here. And we want greater than, which means we want this side. So it's all of this that we need. Oh, we did do one of these. Sorry, we did one of these in class yesterday. So again, we look at the symmetry. So being on the right-hand side of minus 1.5 is the same as being on the left-hand side of 1.5. Yeah? So being greater than minus 1.5 is the same as being less than 1.5. And that you can look up. So if you're asked for greater than a negative number, it's the same as z being less than the positive version of that number. And that's symmetry. Same as number 3. All right. So then the last one, which we haven't done, I'm going to do now, is the in-between. Okay, so we'll do that now. Where is it? Probability. Okay. Right. Just saving myself a drawing here. Right, we'll do the first one because why not? They're like, once you kind of get one, they're all pretty much the same. Okay. So the probability